In this video, I briefly discuss about the three different measures of prevention of occupational diseases: medical measures, engineering measures, statutory or legislative measures one by one. Medical measures starts with pre-placement examination, which is the foundation of an occupational health service. It is done at the time of employment. It includes the collection of workers' medical history with a thorough physical examination, including chest X-ray, ECG, urine, blood examination, special test for endemic disease such as COVID-19, and also collection of family, occupation, and social history. A fresh recruit may either be totally rejected or given a job suited to his physical and mental abilities. The purpose of pre-placement examination is to place the right man in the right job so that the worker can perform his duties efficiently without detriment to his health. Second is periodical examination. Many diseases of occupational origin requires months or even years for their development. Due to their slow development, diseases are often not recognizable in the early stages. That is why a periodical medical checkup of workers is very necessary. The frequency and content of periodical medical examination will be depend upon the type of occupational exposures. Ordinarily, workers are examined once a year, but frequency may increase based on occupational exposures. Medical care of occupational disease is a basic function of an occupational health service in India. The Employee State Insurance Scheme provides medical care not only for the workers but also his family. First aid service should be made available within the factory. Immunization is another accepted function of an occupational health service. Supervision of working environment. A physician should pay frequent visit to the factory in order to acquaint himself with the various aspects of the working environment such as temperature, lighting, ventilation, humidity, noise, air pollution and sanitation, and also with the raw material processes and product manufacturers. He should also study the various aspects of conceptual physiology such as occurrence of fatigue, night work, shift work, weight carried by the workers. This primary information is important for taking necessary steps by the factory management for the prevention of occupational disabilities. Maintenance and analysis of records. The workers' health records and occupational disability records must be maintained. Their compilation and review should be enable the service to watch over the health of the workers and to devise or improve preventive measures. So proper records are essential for the planning, development and efficient operation of an occupational health service. And last but not least is environmental education and counseling. Ideally, health education should start before the workers enters the factory. All the risks involved in the industry in which he is employed and the measures to be taken for personal protection should be explained to him. The correct use of protective devices like masks, goggles, gloves, etc. should be explained. Simple rules of hygiene, that is hand washing, paring the nails, bodily cleanliness and cleanliness of clothes should be impressed upon him. He should be frequently reminded about the danger in the industry through the media of health education such as charts, posters and handbills. Second type of measures is engineering measures, and the first is under this comes design of building. Measures of the prevention of occupational disease should commence in the blueprint stage. The type of floor, wall, height, ceiling, roof, doors and windows, cubic space, all are matters. So once the building is constructed, it would be difficult to introduce alteration without much trouble and expense. Good housekeeping is the fundamental requirement for the control or elimination of occupational hazard. It also contributes to efficiency and morale in industry. Good housekeeping covers general cleanliness, ventilation, lighting, washing, food arrangement, and general maintenance. The wall, ceiling, passage should be whitewashed at least once a year. Dust settled on the floor, ledges, machine should be promptly removed. Mask, gloves, and other PP should be kept clean and in a state of good repair. To prevent accident, the right thing should be in the right place. Not only the inside but the outside of the plant should be kept clean and tidy. General ventilation. There should be good general ventilation in factory. It should be recommended that the openings shall be such as to admit a continued supply of fresh air. In rooms where dust is generated, there should be an efficient exhaust ventilation system. Good general ventilation decreases the airborne hazard to the worker, especially hazards from dust and gases. Protective devices comprises respirators, gas masks, ear plugs, ear muffs, helmets, safety boots, safety shoes, apron, gloves, gumboots, goggles, etc. The worker should be instructed in the correct use of protective devices. Environmental monitoring is concerned with periodical environmental survey to determine whether the dust and gases escaping into the atmosphere are within the limit of permissible concentration. Thermal environment, ventilation, lighting would also have to be monitored. Such monitoring should be done by joint collaboration of doctors and engineers. Statistical monitoring comprises the review at regular intervals of collected data on health and environmental exposure of occupational groups. The major objectives of this review is to evaluate the adequacy of prevention of measures and occupational health criteria, including permissible exposure levels. There are several other measures of other engineering measures also, but I conclude here. And the next type of measures is statutory or legislative measures. Now first I discussed the Factory Act in 1948 and amendments made till date. Factory is an establishment where manufacturing processes are carried out, employing 10 or more workers when power is used, or 20 or more workers when power is not used. So worker means a person employed directly or by agency in any manufacturing process or in cleaning the machinery or premises used for manufacturing processes. A minimum of 500 cubic feet, that is 14.2 cubic meter of space for each worker has been prescribed in this Act. Section 40B of this Act provides for the appointment of safety officer in every factory wherein 1,000 or more workers are ordinarily employed. The Act specified that every factory wherein more than 250 workers are ordinarily employed, a canteen shall be provided. Wherein more than 30 women workers are ordinarily employed, creches shall be provided. Wherein 500 or more workers are ordinarily employed, there should be a welfare officer. The Act also prohibits employment of children below the age of 14 years and declares persons between the ages 15 and 18 to be adolescents. Adolescents employees is allowed to work only 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., that is during daytime, and for 4.5 hours per day. Working hours. A maximum of 48 working hours per week, not exceeding 9 hours per day, with a rest for at least half an hour for 5 hours of continuous work. The total number of hours of the work in a week, including overtime, shall not exceed 60. Live with ages. Live with wages. The Act lays down that besides weekly holidays, every worker will be entitled to live with wages after 12 months continuous service at the following rate: adult 1 day for every 20 days of work, children 1 day for every 15 days of work. The third schedule under sections 89 and 90 of the Act provides a list of notifiable diseases including bisonosis, asbestosis, occupational dermatitis, and a noise-induced hearing loss. Provisions has also been made available in the Act for safety and occupational health survey in factories and industries. And the next important act is the Employees State Insurance Act 1940, height and amendments made till date. The ESI provides for certain cash and medical benefits to industrial employees in case of sickness, maternity, and employment injury. The Act extends to the whole of India and covered for all power using industries other than seasonal industries wherein 10 or more persons are employed, including shops, hotels and restaurants, cinemas and theaters, newspaper establishments, etc., but excluding mines, railway and defense establishment. The Act has made provision for the following benefits to insured persons or to their dependents, as the case may be: the medical benefits, sickness benefit, maternity benefit, disablement benefits, dependents benefits, funeral benefits, and rehabilitation allowance. And so there are other specialized acts adapted to the particular circumstances of the industry, that is Mine Acts, the Plantation Act, the Minimum Wages Act, the Maternity Benefit Act. All these acts laid down certain standards to which employer must comply to ensure health and safety to workers. And the last is what says about our Constitution of India. The directive principle of the states of India, of Indian constitutions, states the relevant portion are that the state shall in particular direct its policy towards securing the health and strength of the workers, men, women, and the tender age of the children are not abused, and that citizens are not forced by economic necessity to enter avocations unsuited to their strength. And second is the state shall make provisions for securing just and humane conditions to work. So you go for this reference, the acts, and thank you for watching this video.